Avoid danger zones. Avoid danger zones. Now, people of God, you need to understand that just as we have physical places that are danger zones, we also have people that are danger zones. For instance, when you are going around, you see a lot of signs that gives you a warning of danger. Sometimes you go to a place and you see a sign that says, beware of dogs. When you see the sign that says beware of dogs, it means that if you are someone that has fear of dogs, or if you are someone that does not want to have any confrontation with the dog, you see that sign and then you are cautious and careful. Sometimes you see a sign that will say military zone, keep off. And what that means is that this is a military zone and you don't go into that territory except you are qualified to go. Sometimes you see a sign that will say highly inflammable. And that tells you that you have to be careful about what you introduce into that atmosphere. And then you see another sign that will say, this land is not for sale. This land is not for sale. Or beware of fraud. And that tells you don't go into transaction with these people or anyone that tells you they want to sell this property, so that you should be careful. Why do we have all that? Those signs are there so that you and I can be cautious, so that you and I can be warned, so that we will not become a victim of other people's irresponsibility. So in the same vein, just as we have places, we also have people that are danger zones. Now, you are sitting down here right now, everybody's looking normal, looking prim and proper, but you don't know who is HIV positive. Yeah, you don't know who is HIV positive, but that's a danger zone. You are sitting down here right now, you don't know who is a time bomb that has insecurity issue. You don't know someone that has anger issue. You don't know, because they are sitting down, they are all dressed up, looking okay. There are people sitting down here right now, you don't know who is a promiscuous person that has problem with perversion. You don't know someone that has a mental health issue. So we have all kinds of people that are danger zones. And that's why one of the new rules of love is you should avoid danger zones. That means you should never get into that place. You know, I told you last week, never take your heart on a journey without your brain. And that's because every time your heart is the passenger and your heart is the driver and your brain is the passenger in the vehicle of your life, accident is inevitable. So don't get into danger zones. When you see a sign, don't ever think that somebody will just change like that. You are meeting with someone and every little thing they're hungry, every little thing they are insecure, every little thing they are just acting out. That's a child. They might look like an adult, but that's a child trapped in an adult body. And people that throw tantrums. So you need to be very, very sensitive to observe, sensitive to watch. What are the things that people are doing that will reveal to you that this person is a danger zone? By the time somebody is telling you, let's put the Bible aside, let's put the Bible aside, forget Bible. Hey, that's a warning signal. That means that there is a realm in the life of that person where the word of God does not have any effect. There are realms in the life of that person where the word of God is not what controls what they do or controls what they believe. So you need to avoid danger zones. You need to avoid danger zones. So an angry person is a danger zone. An insecure person is a danger zone. A non-believer, an unbeliever is a danger zone. A promiscuous and immoral person is a danger zone. A stingy person is a danger zone. Someone that is bound to their past, that is not yet healed from their past, danger zones, or else you will become a victim of all their past issues. So you need to ensure that you do not get into danger zones lest you submit yourself to a life of confusion and a life of all kinds of evil. Next, the next new rule of love is that consequences are now greater and faster. Consequences are now greater and faster. Please listen and listen well. We live in a world where whatever you do has consequences. There are consequences for every action. There are consequences for everything that you do. And many people don't understand that. They just feel that, oh, I can do this and get away with it. I can do this and get away with it. And you see, one of the amazing things about consequences is that now it is greater and now it is faster. And sometimes, if not most of the time, the consequences start unknown and unnoticed. So I give you an example. We have just come out of COVID. And many of us saw the devastation of COVID in the life of people. Now, if you kiss someone that has COVID, let's say you kiss someone that has COVID. Now, the very minute you kiss them, will you feel any electric shock? Is it that when you kiss them, no, COVID? No, you won't feel anything. But there is a consequence. If you get involved in premarital sex and you are a fornicator, when you are doing your fornication, will you feel any electricity to say, hey, you have carried HIV? No. But consequences have entered. Many times people don't realize that consequences are now faster and greater, because when consequences come, they don't announce themselves. They don't bring a loudspeaker. They just enter. And then before you know it, sometimes it will take a year, sometimes it will take years, sometimes months for you to realize that that thing you did last month, that action you took last year is now producing the result that you see now. It is very, very important for us to know that consequences are now faster and greater. So don't get involved in anything that you know you should not get involved in. Don't get involved in anything that you know should be avoided as a child of God. Next, the next new rule of love is to know that men are different from women. Men are different from women. We have what we call the gender uniqueness, the uniqueness of each gender. A man wrote a book many years ago, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And one of the things he was trying to unfold to us to understand is the fact that men and women seem to come from two different planets, and they seem to speak two different languages and act two different ways. And one of the things you need to understand is that as an individual, if you don't understand that men and women are different, you're going to get into trouble. Now, later on in the course of this series, I'm going to take you on an entire module on the uniqueness of each gender, how that a man is different from a woman, and then we'll look at all the differences between the man and the woman. So we're not going to focus extensively on that in this part. But one of the things you need to understand, let me just give you a few of that, is that men are logical while women are emotional. Now, when we say men are logical, does it mean women are not logical? No. When we say women are emotional, does it mean men are not emotional? No. But one of the things you tend to realize is that it is more of a tendency, and it is not a law cast in stone. So some men are emotional, some women are logical, and sometimes you see an interplay of that in the life of people. So men tend to be more logical than emotional, while women tend to be more emotional than logical. And you see, men are more of headliners. So most of the time when you meet with a man, or a man had gone through an experience and you want him to recount what he has gone through, he's just going to give you an abbreviated version. He's just going to give you the short version. But when you meet with a woman and ask how the day was or how the experience was, she's going to give you a full version and give insight into other areas that you probably will not hear if you are only listening to the man. So men are different from women. There is a uniqueness of each gender. We are not better than women. Women are not better than us, but we are different. So it's all about being different. It's not about being better. And we need to understand that as we continue to look at the new rules of love. The next one is we all have a love language. We're going to look at the language of love. I think it's going to be one of the modules we also look at. So we'll deal with that extensively, but there are love languages. Love as a language. And I think I've shared with us earlier on in the course of this journey that I think we have already done love languages. Yeah, we've done that already. Yeah, we've done that. So the language of love. So we all have a love language. We've done love language already. So I think we did that in February. Yeah, I think we did that in February. So now we need to understand that those languages that we looked at, I think we looked at the 5 love languages. And you need to understand that if you want to love someone, you have to find out what their love language is. Because like I said to us when we looked at the module on love languages, I said that people tend to love people and express love in a way that makes them to feel loving, instead of in a way that makes the other person to feel loved. So you need to find out, and that's what communication is all about. Because you don't want to surprise someone that does not love surprises, and you end up being the one that will be surprised. You don't want to go and do something that you will have taken, gone through all the effort and spent money, and then the other person will feel, what's all this? And then you feel, you feel sad and you feel bad to them. So my money, and they don't appreciate it. They may not appreciate it because it's not something that speaks love to them. So you need to understand that we all have a love language, and one of the new rules of love is to understand that everybody has a love language, to identify what their love language is, and then to be able to help them to flow in that dimension.